Hey folks, welcome to the HuddleTalkTV podcast. This is actually last week's episode. If you want today's episode, it'll be on our Patreon right now, a week early if you contribute. It's patreon.com/HuddleTalkTV. Thanks if you do that. If not, enjoy this one. See you in the future. Whoever's tuning in, welcome. This is HuddleTalkTV episode number 17.
Yeah.
Khaled, you normally do the intros, but I just wanted to I want to get us started.
Man. Enjoy it.
You're taking our vibe, Khaled.
It's okay.
Let Nick have
Go ahead. Let Nick take it over.
Time.
Yeah, no, episode number 17. I think we've gotten better at these fast little intros, guys. We appreciate everybody who's tuning in. Right. This week is sponsored by nobody but ourselves. We're keeping the content
the original three.
But
OG3.
that being said, guys, we just finally hit Twitch partner, affiliate specifically. That means you can now subscribe to us on Twitch. So listen, if you like our content, we're not asking for anything. If you got Amazon Prime, you can throw us a free sub. How's that?
Respect.
That's it. And I think we just want to get into today's content. How are we feeling about that?
Yeah, dude.
Let's go straight into it, man.
So, yeah, we're a little warm today. The AC is not working, which is why we may get a little sweaty, but we also have some good topics for Friday the 13th.
But you know we got to drip regardless, so.
There it is. Khaled
I think we're banging it right off with Friday the 13th. Kind of spooky. We're going to the graveyard.
We are. We're taking the first topic all the way to the graveyard here for episode number 17. So I saw this article. I came across it on Reddit. So it's talking about a literal return to the earth. Is human composting the greenest burial? So basically, what you guys need to know is California is passing a new law which allows bodies to be basically composted, legally composted. So apparently right now, we were actually doing some research prior to the podcast because there's so much mystery around funerals. We're, late 20s. We haven't really planned this stuff.
Nobody's trying to talk about that stuff.
Nobody's trying to talk about that stuff right now.
It's a harsh reality.
So basically what you need to know, which is really interesting in the States right now, is when you die in the States, compared to most other countries in the world, your body is buried undisturbed. There's no lease on the plot. There's no lease on the property.
Yeah, there's no limit.
You're buried for life. Right now, there's no rule or law or anything like that. In the United States, it says, hey, we can exhume this body unless it's for a legal reason, or we need to move it, or your lease is up. We got to check them.
So one of the biggest worries is that in the U.S. specifically is like they're running out of space. They don't have room to continue burying more and more people. Whereas if you go to like Australia and the UK, there is a time limit, and then they start digging out or
start disturbing some sleep.
Yeah, disturbing our mans in the sleep.
Yeah, so really interesting just about this conversation is that we looked up a bunch of facts about the funeral business, but like Mike said, what you need to know is when you're buying a plot of land, let's just say in the UK, you can basically set up a lease for that plot of land for 50 years, 80 years, 100 years, right?
Right.
And after that, your body, they do what they want with it. I really don't even imagine anybody has any use for that coffin. Like, what do you really do with that?
Yeah, you really can't do anything with it unless like a family member decides to like spaz out and say, "Where's my great grandfather?"
Yeah. That's true. Yeah, and then at that point though, it's just like, okay, maybe we just cremate it, but nobody's thinking that far like back. Right?
Not at all.
The only person that I think has been properly preserved is Walt Disney. Everybody knows his head is in Disney Mountain.
No.
It's a myth.
That's a myth.
Oh,
do you believe that myth?
Yeah, it sounds like you said it with conviction.
Well, Nick,
I'm
hold
in
on.
sales though. Hold on. I'm in sales.
Nick is one of those guys who loves to not believe things. This would shock me if you said you believe this.
So,
because you're calling cap on a whole lot of things, bro.
Okay, so I know we talk about it every single time, but there's a guy by the name of Dwayne "The Rock" fucking Johnson.
Yeah.
That guy, if anybody is going to get cryogenically frozen, it's going to be Dwayne.
Gotta be. 100%.
He's going to be the only man to say, you know what? I'm the most humble 6'5", Samoan guy on the planet.
No hair.
That's it. But he's going to come back and he's going to be like, listen, they're going to freeze my body. I'm coming to Hell in a Cell 2069.
Rock bottom.
Listen, I'm just going to say,
it's
man,
the people's champ.
if you're a guy or girl and you have to consistently tell people you're super humble, and then describe your height and weight and all that after,
you're probably not humble.
You're not humble. You're not humble.
There's some pieces that are missing. But back to this article for a second. So basically, California is obviously being the progressive state that they are.
Yeah.
They want to make sure that you can be put in a compostable box. The idea of funerals, and this is Friday the 13th appropriately being, the day to discuss this topic. There's so many traditions around the world with death.
Yeah.
Whether it be different countries, obviously different religions. You can be a Christian like we're talking about here and be buried in a casket. But in the UK, your body is, after 50 years, anything goes.
Yeah, they hit the eject button.
if you were to be buried, if you were to be
Pop
buried,
out, fam.
if you were to be buried in one country,
Yeah.
where you ride with it, it's nice.
Yeah.
Would it be Ghana? Yeah, you've seen those YouTube videos, right? Of the Ghana people being
dancing
Ghana
with
coffin
their-
dancers.
the coffin dancers.
So, Mike, we read an article prior to this podcast.
Yeah.
Talk about that. So, people in Ghana, they do a very special thing when people die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They honor you.
Yeah. So like we were seeing some photos, right? It's like guy's been exactly. He got the shoe. So this one
Oh,
coffin, he's
man.
literally been put in like a dress shoe style coffin. And I mean, that's exactly why I want to go there. Like,
You know what? And bury me with all the bots to help me get all these sneakers.
so basically representing their lives, right? Like, yeah.
Right.
Like,
Yeah,
that's amazing, honestly.
It's talking about how businessmen will be buried in a coffin that's shaped like a Mercedes.
Oh, there you go, yeah.
Planes for pilot, fish for fishermen. Can you imagine
Okay.
somebody makes you a big wooden coffin and like adds a fish? That would like, it's amazing how these people like, that seems like way more of a celebration than
Of your life, right?
Like, listen, growing up, like I'm not necessarily a religious person, but I went to a few Catholic funerals when I was younger,
Right.
on that side of the family. There were some of the worst experiences ever.
Why? Was it like an
They're
open
just
casket
they're
thing?
just terrible. Like, and this is my personal opinion, but they're very miserable. And it just like using my interpretation of kind of what I'm seeing with obviously the Ghana and funeral dancers and the coffins. These seem to make it so much more of a celebration for that person.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Than
celebration.
everybody dressing in all black, crying. And
Yeah,
singing,
never
you know.
really understood that.
I mean, like when it comes to as a Muslim, for me, it's
Yeah.
like it's more reserved. It's very simple. Even the caskets are very like it's wooden, small. Like
It's humble.
Very
I was
basic,
gonna say,
very humble,
weren't
man.
you even saying like cardboard too?
Yeah,
like,
bro.
even
It's like it's very
Yeah.
humble, and you get like you could get 3 pieces of shroud that they
Yeah.
put on the body, white cloth.
Yeah.
That's it, man. That's it. Nothing
Yeah,
else.
that
I
seems-
wonder where like the history. Not that we looked this up or anything like this pre-pod, but I wonder like the history of when making this a big money thing.
Yeah, obviously America, making coffins, and you see it. There's really interesting. Like, I honestly think we could dedicate a whole episode because you think about the different customs around the world. Like, even within the States, like, let's talk about that being Canadians, but the States specifically, there's so many different religions, but obviously they have this burial law. But like we were talking in Louisiana, people are all buried above ground in mausoleums. Those are what mausoleums are for, because a coffin, the weight of it will sink into the
Right.
swamp.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Right, it'll
yeah.
just disappear into the earth.
Right.
So that's interesting that they have mausoleums above ground, but nowhere else they do that.
They do
right?
that. They implicate that.
And,
Yeah.
and in Louisiana, just kind of like the old, Creole tradition, you basically have this somber jazz band that will play down the street when
Right.
somebody dies, right?
Right, yeah.
Just playing like slow swing music, which is
Yeah.
really interesting.
Yeah.
Nobody else is really doing that. But
Do
it, yeah.
I was gonna say, do you think if New York implicated Ghana's funeral styles, they'd be dressed up in Timbs?
Dude,
Just massive Tim costumes.
100%, bro.
or coffins,
I know
I
I'm
should say.
dead, fam, but I'm still dead ass, B. If you ever get my pens.
Bro, 100%. They would literally be like, yeah, dude, the fitted Yankees hat, dude.
Yeah.
Can you imagine somebody who's really extra? They get like the coffin of like Jay-Z's head. Like you open his lips and there's the body, bro. That's crazy, man.
Broccoli, cauliflower.
But dude, in California in some parts they actually have like drive-through like funeral homes.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, in
What do you mean
Compton.
drive-through?
So the reason they have them is because it's so dangerous, right? Because some of these gang
Oh, wow.
funerals,
Yeah.
it's just like it's a surefire way. If you kill somebody, there's going to be more people of that association at the-
Attending the funeral.
So a lot of what they do is they'll actually have bodies like basically like it's almost like a drive-through. Like basically it's an open casket. Like if they do open casket, but it's like through like bulletproof glass, and you drive by through and you pay your respects.
So you just stand on the sides and wave?
No, you don't stand. You drive through with your car because it's too dangerous. Because like imagine again, like you see a bunch of affiliated people of the gentleman that you maybe just killed. Now there's an
Right.
opportunity to really like
Right.
incite some
But I
violence.
mean, I don't think a car is gonna save you if you can still get Swiss cheesed in there.
dude,
Yeah.
you can get away much faster.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah,
true.
that's true as well.
And then
Yeah.
a bunch of people holding umbrellas trying to stop those bullets, bro. This is not X-Men, okay? This is not X-Men, bro.
Captain America pulling up with his shield.
Yeah,
Oh,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Super Soldier, where you at, bro?
We need you.
Yeah, interesting. But one thing that we didn't pull up too, I think is kind of fascinating is Louisiana, I think maybe has a little bit more of that tradition because of the French catacombs.
Oh.
You guys know that all below the streets of Paris are just bones and bodies. You know that, right?
Why is that?
Is that why it smells in some of the Paris streets?
Great question. I have no idea.
It's kind of creepy. More Friday the 13th material.
You guys weren't aware of that?
No, I did. Yeah, but I didn't think about it. Like,
yeah. So I imagine, obviously, Louisiana being heavily French influenced and, descendants. I almost guarantee you that that's part of where the tradition carried over from.
Okay,
just the way that they treat those bodies. But yeah, there's literally tunnels of just bones and catacombs. And I don't know if it's for the exact same reason over there in France. I wish we had done a little bit more research, but there's a lot of ghost stories.
That's crazy, man.
Which is very interesting.
I still remain adamant that one of our podcasts just has to be dedicated to ghost stories.
Really?
Or life after death.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So talk about another really interesting point here. A Tibetan sky burial. Basically, they believe as Buddhists that the body could be cut into pieces, left at the top of a hill for birds and vultures to feast on. And the idea is it's seen as an act of charity and compassion into the next life.
Right.
So there's a lot of very interesting rituals that people have around death.
All I know is it don't cost as much.
No,
I'll tell you that much.
It definitely doesn't.
You ain't going down under with the debt.
And you're feeding the community at the same time.
Yeah, and so the price of a coffin in Canada is like $1,000 to $4,000.
Bro, that's why it's not surprising when you see people popping up with a bunch of GoFundMe pages for when people pass away, right?
Yeah.
It's because, man, you don't know about that until you're gone, right? That there's all these costs that come along with it.
Yeah.
And if you're hit with that in your family, right?
Very
you realize that, listen, man, it's gonna cost to bury this person, right? It's just when the time you're supposed to be mourning, man, you're gonna be hit with costs.
And how long does the body stay before it decomposes?
Good question. So we were looking that up. So basically, if left unattended to, your flesh after about 48 hours is going to start to just kind of fall off your bones. Sorry, your organs begin to shut down.
Your organs.
So internally, that begins to go first. Right. We were looking it up. We're calling from memory. I think at that point, then your blood starts to pool at the bottom of your body.
Sinks,
then basically that starts to kind of rot away. Your skin,
color, the skin color turns red.
Skin color turns red from green. Apparently, after the bloat, your body starts really bloating, releasing a bunch of gases. And then after about, I don't know, 20 days, your teeth start falling out.
And your nails.
And your toenails and fingernails. Yeah. And then at that point, after 30 days, basically, you're starting to really just turn into liquid.
So I guess the coffin really keeps you intact, but like for how long?
For how long? And you were talking about something interesting that I had to Google.
Yeah, man.
So to make sure you're not capping.
You had to make sure, but apparently if the body, when it starts decomposing, it just starts releasing bacterias and fumes and gas.
Yeah.
And so the coffin can no longer contain it.
Yeah.
And it turns into some sort of like basically a pressurized cooker, and it actually just blows up. Like it just explodes.
Wow.
Not in all cases. But,
not in all cases, but
it happens.
Of course, temperature
it
and
can
all
happen
that
depending,
stuff.
Yeah. With everything involved. That's imagine that just exploding underground.
Bro.
That is pretty freaky.
Yeah, that's weird, man. But more Friday the 13th concept for you there, bro.
Yeah.
Just don't make sure you don't get buried in a hot area.
So no Middle East for us. No Middle Eastern boys.
Or you finna blow.
Stay out of Dubai.
Very interesting.
Yeah, right?
No trips to Dubai for me. No, sir.
Talking about the death of a human, we're kind of also at the point where we talk about buying a coffin for privacy because that's gone.
Yeah.
That
you can
was
kiss
an
that
awful
goodbye.
transition.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, you can kiss it goodbye.
Kiss it goodbye, baby. So
iOS 15, they released their new privacy first approach towards kids' privacy. And so basically they'll be having the ability, they're trying to have the ability to scan the iPhone and alert authorities whenever they need to. Obviously, privacy advocates are not for this because they're questioning the real reasonings, I should say. And I think kind of we were talking about this, and even though people are kind of realizing it more and more by the day, I think our privacy kind of went away like 5+ years ago.
So is this like an update?
For the most part,
is this an iOS update?
Yeah.
It's the newest iOS update.
Listen, as long as my phone is still running fast, I'm okay with it.
You're a simple guy to please.
Update.
I think the adage though a lot of people will echo, and this is the people who don't have a problem. Before I take any kind of stance on this, whether it's police surveillance, just in general on the streets, recording your calls, or just whether it comes down to Apple sending your photos somewhere else to the police.
Right.
I think a lot of people stand by the idea. Well, if you have nothing to hide, what are you worried about? I think that's a terrible way to look at things.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
It's only a matter of time, and not saying it basically just volunteers your privacy.
But it can be the most innocent thing, and you feel like, listen, that's like.
Yeah, but it still means something to you.
What? But if I did not want to share my before and after pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
What if I did not want that?
What if the after picture is in the final.
Exactly.
I don't want the FBI to have my embarrassing Instagram boomerangs.
True.
No, your dinner dates and all that stuff, man.
Yeah,
but
the drafts that never went out but stayed on my phone.
Exactly.
Nick's rap lines that never wanted to be.
Honestly, honestly, most of them have made it out. Triple platinum, no single. Shout out J. Cole. Or no feature.
No feature.
Sorry.
100%.
Triple platinum, no feature.
The camera's got him sweating.
No,
Don't
no. AC has me sweating. That's for sure. And these lights, camera action. So here's what really needs to be talked about in this article. What basically needs to be acknowledged before we even talk about the iOS 15 update is Facebook and Google have already been scanning our images for years.
Yeah.
They've already released information. It's public knowledge that basically these companies are, including Google as well, they already have access to all of your photos uploaded to any of these cloud accounts, right? Yeah. So we know the convenience that, for example, Google Photos can provide or Apple Photos. It sorts you by location. It'll sort you by face. Yep. It'll upload all of your friends in one album. It's convenient. Let's be honest. You got dogs. It'll put all the dogs into one folder. But what that means is it's actively scanning all your folders.
Yeah,
right?
Of course, yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize too, this happens with everything. Like, so for example, your emails are not private as well. When you get those ads at the very top of your email for certain...
Everything's tailored to you.
Exactly.
100%.
It's been going through your emails to look for keywords to figure out who's the right core audience.
Right.
So what this does is it basically just acknowledges the fact saying, hey, we're already scanning your photos. Maybe we should take the law into our own hands, like the Avengers.
Stop us if you can.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
They've had enough of Zuckerberg stealing all the attention. They're just going to do it themselves.
It raises some interesting points here, though, because I think what the real dangerous thing is that all of this information, obviously... there's extensive uses for deep learning in that sense. Image recognition, face recognition. There's a lot of training that's going on in the background. Yeah. Right. And it's even funny because every once in a while, Google will ask you to say, hey, is this the same person?
Yeah,
right?
Of course, yeah.
And it's funny because sometimes I'll face swap somebody and it's just like, you're on Sylvester Stallone or you're Rambo now. And it's just like, yeah, that's him, but the face is the same, but the body's totally different. But it acknowledges that, which is really interesting. So it just goes to show that, we've done a deep fake with Drake.
Definitely not Drake though.
It wasn't Drake. Drake, great value brand. Shout out.
Drake off wish.com.
Shout out to Sam. That was
better bars though. Better bars.
Exactly. 100%. But it raises the interesting question of like, okay, so basically there's going to be this human that just kind of is omnipresent. It doesn't even really exist. Like, have you guys seen the photos that they do and they say this is what a human simulated will look like in 2095?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Those are pretty accurate. You're basically going to be able to create somebody. Like now I'm going on a riff.
Sure.
But that's in the future too. But they even have ones where you can simulate you as a senior. Look how old you look. Yeah. Stuff like that. It's like... We've given up so much information at this point, bro.
I'm trying to enjoy my youth. Why are you trying to make me already see what I look like as I'm old? Okay, let me enjoy my time.
But here's
Benjamin Button looking ass.
Yeah. Here's the main argument that people are basically comparing against. In 2015, Apple basically told the FBI that they would not unlock the supposable terrorist cell phone.
Yeah.
Fast forward to 2021, they're now freely giving out this information to the police. So it's coming from a righteous place where they want to be able to give these photos to the authorities to hopefully catch child predators.
But how much is too much? Where do you draw the line? It's so difficult.
Yeah, because now all of a sudden it's just like, okay, Apple is now above the law.
Right.
Apple is now that's literally the definition of vigilantism. Yeah. Which is fine as long as the vigilantism isn't like at a certain point is about how we're going to tip. Yeah. Right. And this is why I always laugh. People are like, oh, when you go to the moon, the government's going to run it. Like, no, Apple's already telling the U.S. government how to catch criminals. Right. If this passes, isn't that a really interesting talking point?
Yeah.
Sure. So they're above. Yeah, you're right.
Pretty much. They're
pushing their way. Yeah.
They're basically saying, hey, we're doing the job that you couldn't. Apple is basically the modern day Batman.
I rock with Batman.
And it's a hub for all our personal information anyways. So use it against us. Use it against us, man. Go ahead.
But hold on. Going back to Magic Mountain, guys. Which celebrities do you think are really going to try and live forever?
I feel like that's exactly. So our next article is about Silicon Valley business is spending a ton of money, billions on billions, more than double the amount as anyone else. And they are spending because they believe that they can curb aging or the pains that come with aging, I should say more like it. Now, we've already over the last 20, 30 years, we've already expanded our life expectancy a lot each year. But they found that in mice, which is used for damn near everything in the medical world on testing, they found that mice, the younger mice's blood, when put into the older mice's blood, curbs and stops diseases and other things that the older mice had. It helps their brains. It makes them healthier. So the proteins that are found in the younger blood is essentially what they're on like the second phase trial now. And they believe that if their findings are going to continue working, they're going to be able to slow down diseases like Alzheimer's, other things, Parkinson's, other things that just come with old age.
So we're just
heart diseases.
Transfusions.
I guess that's what they would be looking at.
But how would that work? Like, would you use like a person that just died? You have
I think they're probably going to get pretty close to figuring out how to create blood in a laboratory, right?
Yeah, which is years and years in the future.
And then basically, like, guys, we're coming full circle on Twilight here.
Bro, this is weird.
We really are.
Well,
the idea that
for somebody that hasn't watched Twilight, please inform me.
I'm not before we go there. I'm not going to lie. A very we keep
there's magic.
We didn't even mean we didn't mean for all this to be Friday the 13th related, but it just seems to be. So that's something I think of when I see all this crazy futuristic stuff that involves testing and blood.
Right.
I just think like, man, this is how vampires start. Like, I know it's fiction, but
at a
it's
certain
like in
point,
the back of your head. Yeah, I've seen enough of these movies. Like there might we know that TV shows have predicted the future.
Yeah,
right.
But vampires might be the future.
Here's something that blows my mind: is that you traditionally think of vampires. Yeah, traditionally think of like Frankenstein and vampires as like folklore and fiction.
Yeah.
The ironic thing is like somehow we're about to hit this point where it's now science fiction.
Right.
It's just like, wait, so hold on, science fiction. There's a laboratory where somebody actually like is using and harvesting the blood of younger hosts to basically live forever. That's literal science fiction in a laboratory. That's crazy.
That's actually nuts.
But explain to me how when they were writing Dracula 100 years ago, however long that was, they had this idea, and they're like, and however many years later, they're like, oh shit, it actually works.
So maybe low key, this is something that's been brewing for a while.
Honestly, and somebody gave the Egyptians ancient alien technology to build the pyramids.
Bro, that's something that we can't even get into now because that one still boggles my mind, bro. There's no answer for that.
Okay. Can we upset TikTok? Should we?
Bro, go ahead.
We're away from those. We're away from those.
Go ahead.
No, it's funny. It's funny.
Are you going to say it's fake?
No, absolutely not. I was just...
Jungle Pool boys, come get your man.
Come get your man, quick.
He's at it again. Come get him. Your jumpers jump. Where are you at? At you. But what really I want to talk about with the pyramids, it's interesting because you look at these shows, and I always find it's some of the least credible looking people that are basically on these History Channel shows.
What do you mean, like
Ancient
National
Aliens.
Geographic?
They look like they just smoked crack. You know what I'm talking about? Like, you know the meme guy who's like aliens, right?
Yeah.
And they're talking about like obviously how would they have moved a stone, and they go into the physics and how basically if you look at a map, there's like perfect geographical like trifecta points where these pyramids have been built and undiscovered ones, and it's just like, okay, clearly there's some kind of technology or physics that that basically wasn't invented until hundreds of years later with Galileo, right?
I mean, those archaeologists that are on the sites, man, they dedicate like basically their whole lives staying and just waiting, waiting for this rock to be something from ancient Egypt, so that I can just like, at least get a hint of history and something that I can relate to my own studies.
But you know how
like they literally stay there day and night.
Those people are dedicated. Like they dedicate their lives for the future and history.
I was watching one on National Geographic. They have a couple locals with them Egyptians with them and they have like small brushes. They're all in like a pit. Okay, and they're dusting off small rocks all day in the heat, bro. Just to find something that can trace them back to their ancestors.
Bro,
I'm just like, man, the dedication. Bro.
Meanwhile, your ass is beefing on 2K.
All right. Right.
I fast forward. You guys remember the movie A Day After Tomorrow where the Statue of Liberty freezes over? And somebody goes back in time and somebody's like dusting off a pair of Timbs. For some reason, I just think the New York humor's
We always come back to the Timbs, the New York.
Deadass, dusting off the Timbs.
New York doesn't play, bro.
It was clean in life and afterlife, bro. Gotta respect it, right?
100%.
But it's really interesting when you think about, again, back in the day, when these people are translating this information on these shows, the people speaking on behalf always seem like these incredible, like, just academic, they look like their life is a whole frenzy.
Yeah, no,
trying to convince people, and they look like they're always late to something.
Bro, well, but okay, just think about it this way.
Yeah.
You're working in a field for 50 years.
Sure.
And you don't find nothing.
Yeah.
Maybe once in your whole career, bro.
Yeah.
Do you know how much patience that probably takes, bro?
A lot, bro.
I guarantee you.
Go ahead. Sorry.
No, you.
No. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I guarantee you, those people are heavy drinkers. Too.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. Like.
Yeah, but I feel like that comes with like
heavy coffee
shakes
drinkers
and issues too, though. They gotta be like, bro. I don't know, man. I think these people just drink water all their lives.
Oh yeah,
really?
They have to.
Yeah, I think they're healthy and they're like, they're focused, man.
Because in an environment like that, man, you gotta be.
Yeah,
your mental and your physical gotta be on point.
Okay,
man.
but listen, relax. We're not talking about Brendan Fraser in the peak mommy days.
Okay,
relax, bro. Shout out Brendan though, because he's getting a lot of love on social media. He deserves it. His range is impressive. But when you're talking about like digging up whether it's the pyramid or dinosaur bones, I hate to say it, but like if you're still chasing that, like a lot of it's already been discovered.
Yeah, but why not still chase it, knowing that you could be somebody that's bringing something new to the situation, man?
How much really new can you bring to the situation, though? I feel like a lot of that stuff has already been excavated.
As long as there's land to discover, listen, man, there's something.
Do you think
that
the history there is helping the future of the world?
Oh, not at all. I think it's just to understand the past.
Yeah.
I'm more understood. Well, I can't even. It's impressive and it's awesome. It's
imagine
I love history. I love learning.
Imagine if they found some drawings that showed them how exactly these pyramids were built. Imagine that.
Yeah.
But wouldn't they have already found them? With all due respect.
No, not necessarily. Well, but if it's hidden in some random compartment under some pharaoh's ass,
Atlantis.
Well, how are in a coffin or something?
How are we in 2021? I swear to God, every few weeks where there's new findings of new like dinosaur bones that are like older than any other that we've ever known so far, and it's like how it's 2021, like how are we still finding these?
That's true. Like we're going to the moon, but it's just like no psych. We just found another dinosaur. We're gonna stay on.
We gotta stay at least another 100 years to figure this one out.
Yeah, true. Do you guys think Atlantis is real? The city under the water, underwater?
I don't know, but
I don't have. I can't say because I don't have much knowledge.
Why are we exploring the depths of space? And everybody's so excited to get out there. I really want to know what's at the bottom of the ocean.
Because the bottom of the ocean
is never ending.
I really want to know.
We want to talk Friday the 13th. The bottom of the ocean is scary as hell.
Terrifying.
I'm not afraid of a lot. The ocean is scary, man. Once you get deep down there, it's so dark. It's made of the most messed up things. Like that's the fish that are at the bottom of the sea are exactly the kind of things you have in your mind when you're worried about putting your feet over at the end of your bed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, true.
The monster's going to get me,
and
right?
The thing is,
those are the monsters.
Those ones are so dangerous because their sensories, like their hearing senses, are just on a different level because it's so dark down there.
It's so dark and it's so still. And the thing that blows my mind is just, that's impressive, but think of the amount of pressure that these animals are under. Because when you go down, obviously there's so much pressure below sea level. Right? So the farther you go down, like you get diving sickness if you come up too quickly. And that's like within human range. When you're talking about going real deep, like Mariana's Trench is like one of the deepest places in the ocean. It's just amazing to think about what kind of fucking creatures have the physical capability to live
staying down there. Oh, and
exactly.
that makes you think, it's like, can those creatures come up safely as well? Or is it just they can survive?
They just stay down there.
They only survive in those depths, right?
Because you have to basically, you have to, I can't remember, I just said it, but the pressure, your body is not built to withstand different pressures.
Yeah,
right.
There's, I can't remember what it's called.
I guess the ocean has some sort of layers, I guess, like when it comes to like
transitional layers where things don't move.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's really interesting, right?
That's crazy.
And there's this one kind of shark. I can't remember what it's called, but it's a very ancient shark, and they live for about 500 years.
That's amazing.
What?
And what actually ends up killing the shark is parasites on its body that basically take over as a host.
I've heard that.
So these things, they're called zombie sharks. Like that's the.
So they're not really alive.
So they are alive, but at a certain point, they basically they basically are infected by parasites. It's
the things that are just growing. If you see them, it's like think of like a whale that just has like so many parasites and like algae and stuff on it. That's what they're dying from in the end. Is he's gonna look it up. Zombie sharks. It's gonna be like some terrible movies, bro.
Yeah,
Friday the 13th, man. Zombie sharks, bro.
Yeah, exactly. It's gonna bring up some kids shows on some Netflix garbage.
Anyways,
that's really interesting to think about. And like my thing, I really love the idea of bioluminescence. You know those anglerfish that have the light in front of them,
and the scary ass
something
teeth,
I need for my bed when I'm trying to read a book. For 100%,
bro. It's like the
Set me up, fam.
Remember the OG? OG Game Boy lights. That was like the literally the little worm.
So maybe we do need to travel all the way to the depths of the ocean to get those fish with those lights and then hook them up in our rooms.
To be honest, I want to, and this is why, like, I always laugh whenever there's people with big money. I think they spend it in the worst ways. Like, you're really trying to flex. How about you and the boys take a submarine underwater and then shoot a music video? You know how crazy that'd be if all of a sudden there's some like you
different type of applying pressure.
That's it. The ops can't get you. Ops can't get you under the sea. 50,000 leagues, baby.
Take in these deep bars.
Can you? but bro, for real, can you imagine somebody's down there in a submarine?
We drown in.
But you imagine, the one with like the arms that will like scuttle along and it's got like the claws. Can you imagine some dude rapping with like a New York Yankees hat? Just Lil Wayne. Why have you not done this, bro?
Yo, do you think Lil Yachty would be banned? He'd have to change his name.
I don't think they'd let him down there.
Call him Lil Submarine.
I don't think he's got the grit, bro. You need a lot of money for that.
Yeah, man.
You need a lot of money for
a different type of flex, man. Why haven't people thought of that, man?
So something that's interesting. I believe there's a like a scary amount of submarines. You know that majority of the nuclear warheads on this planet are in
underwater.
Submarines.
Yeah, underwater. Yeah.
So I think the U.S. on paper, everybody has to disclose the amount of nukes that they have for whatever treaty.
Right.
But obviously nobody believes that because
they get capping.
These submarines basically maybe it's 45 days, let's call it.
They come up?
They have to come up and they switch crews.
Oh.
Right? But the idea is these nukes are always moving and you have no idea in the water where they are.
Are they actually moving or are they just
they're always
moving?
Still? No, they're always moving.
Really?
They're always moving. Which is really freaky. So basically, if there was a nuclear disaster, when they say like the launch codes, those are coming from a submarine. And what's really interesting is the U.S. or the English Navy has 3 rules that basically are written down on a piece of paper in the event of a nuclear attack.
Why is this not documented on a laptop?
Dude, okay, I could pull
piece
it
of
up,
paper.
But I'd rather people call cap on me later.
Piece of paper. I'm already calling the cap.
This guy just trying to look smart.
No. Put it in his notes.
No. There's 3 codes basically. In the event of a nuclear fallout, the Queen basically, or whatever British royalty, whoever's in charge, they're going to say you have to surrender.
Okay.
You attack, or there's a third option. I can't remember. But basically, every time somebody comes into term as somebody in the UK in the Parliament, they basically they have to write that down. And that's like
on a piece of paper,
and it's a secret box that's open. However they open it, but basically that's what happens in the event of
it's got to be a red button. It's always a red button.
But isn't that really like it just sounds like a story, but it's real.
I would hope your writing is on point because
what did it say?
Fam, I can't read it. I can't.
But how creepy is that?
I bet they write in cursive. That's probably what cursive is for.
Nuclear. Throw the young boys off. But you didn't know about this, fam. You teach this in your school.
Do you guys think, like, honestly though, it's probably a big flex to live in a submarine?
Oh, 100%.
I would love it.
I don't. Man.
But it's very industrial on the inside.
Bro, imagine the things that are slowly creeping by your window every night.
Bro,
what was that?
But I don't even know if there's windows, dude.
Why not?
What are you talking about?
They have to have windows. There are windows.
Have you ever seen Lost?
Yeah.
Bro, there
you go. TV show where they wear shoes inside the submarine?
Hey, there you go. Yeah, duh. It's dirty as hell.
Americans so disrespectful, bro.
Throwback.
So shoes in their houses and their submarines.
Obviously, Gen Z, they don't know cursive, so they're not going to know the key to the nuclear launch codes and what to do.
Listen, just call me if you need somebody to read it to you.
Yeah,
exactly. But Michael, speaking of Gen Z, that's not the only problem they have with reading and communication. You're going to hit us with some information. Transition.
Yeah. So the reason Nick and I were talking a couple days ago, and we were discussing about how millennials, just in general, ourselves, or even we're decently educated, and we're getting dumbed down a little, with the times with social media and all that.
Big facts.
So if we're like this as millennials, what can you imagine Gen Z is like? Well, actually, there's articles on it, and Gen Z is now entering the workforce, basically. And there's like 5 generations of people in the workforce at this moment.
Pretty much.
And it's a struggle to get Gen Z and even us as millennials to consistently communicate with a lot of the older generations, because this is it's like an age of memes.
Some awkward youths.
And the reason we started talking about it is because all the annoying comments where people would just, without any sort of research or
ratioed.
They don't, oh my God, they don't care. They don't care about anything, any sort of real information. information. They just want the clout or the humor, and they say ratio or cap. This guy just trying to look smart.
Yeah,
silly stuff. And it's like, I'm not one to really get bothered or annoyed, and I sound like such a boomer half the time on this podcast because I'm not one at all in real life.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a bother, and it's definitely an issue where I can see it just continuing to get worse.
It's easy to hate, man.
I can jump in on this and actually give some really good input.
Okay.
As a kid growing up, we had access to computers, but we didn't. There's a few years where we didn't have any smartphones. You didn't have internet on your phone.
Oh yeah,
we had some dial-up. I'll tell you
more than half our childhood. We
more than half exactly. So I remember a lot of the times I would keep a pencil and paper in my pocket,
right?
And if there were things I wanted to know, I would always ask questions.
Right.
I would usually write them down for later, and then by the time I got in front of a computer, I would Google it.
Yeah.
Did anybody else do that?
No. Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
I did that all the time, right? So basically, what's the average age of somebody in the United States? Like I would want to know a question like that, and I try and find it.
Sure.
But whether it's a question on anything, bottom line, I remember being a younger child. I was trained into that idea that hey, there are certain things you don't know, and you have the ability to check them, and it was a very exciting thing.
Back in the day when we had ask.com.
Do you remember?
Oh my God! Talk about Ask Jeeves.
No,
Ask.
ASK.com.
I went straight to Google. You guys are using the
bro. Come on, Ask was the more popular one back
then.
So
you did grow up rich.
Guys, relax. Support small businesses.
Come on,
we were supporting Ask.com. Ask Jeeves, Yahoo. Come on, everything, bro. It wasn't just Google back then.
That's true. Google originally was an indexing site. I think that's so interesting, man. They really just served the point to basically...
There was a lot of search engines that died down.
Exactly. They did the best job in giving you the information that you wanted. I just think that's brilliant. But I remember I would always be in the habit of training myself to say, hey, this is an interesting question. I wonder what the answer will be, right?
Right, yeah.
And because the internet was so new, there was a magic to it. There was an excitement to it, knowing that, hey, I don't have to read a book. I can just type 5 words and the answer will be there.
Yeah.
Because we were at that point where we basically, if we wanted to learn something, we still were kind of like, hey, you got to read this book and then you got to pull all the points from it.
Right.
There was no shortcuts. There was no Control F. Bro, there was no Control F. If you wanted to find something, you had to read through text to find it.
Not until our high school days.
Unless we got smart notes.
not until our high school days. But yeah, before that, we were definitely pulling from books, writing things down on our notes.
But point being is, sorry, this is a long-winded point, but I wanted to get back to this. Well, you're right, Mike. On a lot of these social medias, people are calling ratio and cap, and it's just these silly little derogatory terms. Back in the day, you and I would have taken the opportunity to Google it. Now they don't care. They just keep scrolling. So it's interesting because they don't care if the information is real or not. They just want entertainment.
Exactly.
That's it. And I think that's a scary thing. Is it doesn't have to be real anymore, as long as it's entertaining.
That's all it is.
And scroll to the next one. They don't care to not. And again, now I'm sounding like a boomer.
No, I know we are.
Curiosity is gone.
Yeah. That's exactly why too. That's exactly why so much of it. And again, not to sound like a boomer or get boring on this podcast, but that's exactly why news nowadays has no reason to be factual or anything more than opinion pieces, stuff like that. It doesn't sell. It doesn't sell, and they have no reason to be, digging deep and putting in information because there's not really many readers who care.
No, all they're looking for is clickbait.
They know what the future generations are. They know what they need to do to sell.
Exactly.
So it's not going to get better.
Especially the other awful thing is we're in a very, very, very challenging time for media because they're facing a massive transition. You have one kid with good-looking hair and nice eyebrows who's 17 in the United States who gets more views than CNN.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
Sorry. So he does a little wiggle in front of the camera. He is now real news.
Yep.
Yeah.
To whoever is watching him.
Oh yeah, exactly. he puts up a random opinion,
and it's now gospel.
And that's affecting another
people are going to carry
100,000 people.
That's fact.
And I think it's a good thing that this is, the traditional medias are basically dying off because it allows opportunity for smaller, more independents to basically voice.
Right, yeah.
But I just hate the idea that the people who are taking, that are reaching these levels of fame, not saying that there's this duty that they have to step up to. I'm not saying that, but it's just like the cycle just kind of continues, that there's information that's going up that's not necessarily true or real news.
That actually makes me ask this. It's like with these main news channels like CNN and stuff like that, you'll see in the airports that's the only thing that's running.
Yeah.
So
who's actually watching it?
That's what I'm saying.
So
who's really watching the news?
So whenever they flex their numbers, it's just like, okay, there was 10 million hours of CNN watched last month. Hold on, bro. That was at a barbershop. That was at a doctor's office. That was at a dentist.
Yeah.
That was at Pearson Airport.
Bro,
that was just running in the
not too many people at their homes watching this. Like, exactly. No way.
That's what I'm saying. And so I actually was watching a video today of Russel Brand. This is from 8 years ago. He went on MSNBC. Okay. And he was absolutely just... So the news anchor started by making fun of him because he's wearing a V-cut shirt and it's showing his chest hair. And then he immediately starts like making fun of him, saying, oh, this must be British fashion. It's a deep V, nice chest hair. And dude, he just starts going in on them to the point where like they're like drinking water super nervously and he's like doing their job for him. And I'm just laughing because you have one guy, he's a very smart guy.
Yeah.
And he's actually got some good books. Like I don't think his
he writes. I don't know.
Yeah, his writing style is amazing. I don't find his stand up particularly the funniest.
Yeah. But he can write.
He's got great books.
He used to be like big on drugs, right? And then he rehabbed and came off. Yeah, came off, and then he started writing, right?
Yeah, exactly. So I read that book on basically the addiction. So basically, he goes through the 7 steps, but he modernizes it.
Yeah.
So the 7 steps to basically rehabilitation program is all based off of a Christian, rehabilitation program.
Really?
Yeah, like basically turn to a higher power. I can't remember all 7 steps. But it's all heavily emphasized on religion.
So how does that work for an atheist?
Well, that's it. So he basically like it doesn't matter if you're at that point. Just you got to choose.
You have to find a purpose, I guess, when you're trying to do it.
It's one of those things. But he did such a great job modernizing it and telling it from a current perspective,
right?
And just the way that he chooses his words,
right?
And he speaks like. He speaks so eloquently.
Yeah,
he floats above
he's
the English
easy.
language.
He's easy to listen to.
Right. Super cool dude.
Wow.
Shout out
to him.
But yeah, it's just interesting. Like that's a guy who expresses himself. And I remember we've talked about this before, but emojis and I think gifs are an excellent way to express yourself.
100%. They're funny because if you know if you know the background story to some of the gifs, it's even funnier, bro.
That's true.
100%.
Yeah, I like GIFs a lot more than emojis, right?
Yeah.
GIFs are funny. There's creativity behind it. You got to look it up. You got to know what's right for what moment.
Exactly.
Emojis are lazy if you spend half your time.
And if you nail it, bro, more times it's actually
absolutely.
a hilarious
It's hilarious. Yeah, you get good laughs out of GIFs.
The one thing that I always argue too is like everybody has like 5 go-to emojis.
Yeah.
So it's just like, and I've brought this up before, but I think you could really do a personality check on somebody by the 5 most recently used emojis.
Right.
You can really figure out kind of how they communicate.
Yeah.
Really, you can.
Could you figure out their sign though?
Yeah, for sure.
Aquarius.
For sure. Well, that could be that's an emoji.
We gotta
if they're dropping it.
Yeah.
If they're dropping
we gotta do some street reporting and just actually test out each person's like.
Can we see your emojis?
No, we'll guess.
And we'll guess your personality.
We'll guess your 5 emojis.
And that's it. Yeah. Oh yeah. Take the emojis and then guess their sign.
That's actually groundbreaking sociology.
Yeah. There you go.
So like what I'm seeing a lot lately is girls are putting like the little mushrooms in their bio and
the little mushrooms.
Mushrooms. Yeah. I don't know what that means.
What does that mean?
It maybe means magic mushrooms, like they're free spirited. I don't know.
Oh god.
It's just like
everything has a meaning these days. I don't even know. I can't even keep up.
You guys know the Hungarian sleep beads or worry beads, whatever they're called, with like the eye. Have you guys seen that one recently? It's like the blue eye. It's like the blue bead, and there's like a black ring and a white ring.
Oh yeah.
Those are like Hungarian worry beads or something like that.
Yeah.
But it's also like again spiritual.
What is that for against like evil eye and stuff like that? I think.
I don't know. I think it's like listen. I'm not even gonna.
You brought it up. I don't know.
Bottom line,
we're a little lost on this one.
Bottom line, I bring it up because it's just like I guarantee you there's girls where that's like a top 5 emoji.
Oh, 100%.
They're just dropping that in little sparkles and fairies.
We got to start guessing each other's top 5 emojis.
What do you think the average guy's top 5 emoji are?
For sure,
the wet splash.
No. Michael, I know one of your top 5 emoji faces.
The splash.
Come on, brother.
One of your top 5 emoji faces, Mike, is a face that goes like the twisty lips.
Yeah.
I can't even make.
Do you want me to
emoji,
do it on? Do you want me to do it on thing?
Well, yo, is that even an emoji or is it a picture now? Because it's not an emoji you can find.
If you type in drunk, that's what comes up.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Okay.
So you know your shortcuts, bro. I don't know. I just like
I type in or like you type in few. Like PHEW, and then that will come up. I type in things sometimes to see if it'll come up with something.
Smirk in there too.
I love the smirk.
You gotta have the smirk in there.
And the crying, laughing emoji.
Yeah. The one with the glasses, the sunglasses.
That's you, eh?
That's me, broski.
Yeah. He's too nice with it.
You are nice with it, eh? I love the smirk one. I only recently realized it was called smirk because before I would go through and I'd be like, where is that one again?
Well, but the one with the guy with his tongue out and he has like that sweat droplet and he's like red.
It's hot.
Oh, hot. Yeah,
I've been using that one lately because the AC's been off.
This man literally
describe yourself in one emoji.
This is the age we live in, bro. Nick had to contact the AC guy to come and check out our AC because it's off, and he literally just sent
from one to hot
emojis.
Describe yourself. You dropped emoji.
He didn't even say your AC's down. He just texted him. hot.
Okay, I got
the
you,
guy.
fam.
The guy came over and he was just like, "Say less."
Good thing the guy was Gen Z, bro. he heard you right away.
Bro,
guys, we gotta get these guys on the scene, man.
We definitely have to hit
this
the
guy's
streets.
sweating. 100%. I think that would be actually hilarious, man.
Bro, another thing I was talking earlier about was TV shows. Topic change a bit here though.
Yeah.
But TV shows, crazy predictions of the future, like The Simpsons. The Simpsons is ridiculous.
The Simpsons has predicted. I can't even say predicted. It's just a wild coincidence. But a lot of their things is just like mind-boggling. You're like, bro.
Is it like
how's this possible? I think they also did
Trump
Man?
Yeah, they got that. One of the later ones was Trump thing, and they had like multiple Trump things correct too.
Yeah,
which was like scary.
What about the one grabbing the pussy? Was that in an episode too?
What?
No,
I don't know if we can say that. We probably can. Whatever.
Yeah, but
no, I don't think that was probably some sort of fake news.
Oh, okay, all right.
Nick gets up for a second to fix things, and we get kicked off our TikTok Twitch stream, bro.
Yeah, my bad.
What happened? What happened, Nick? All right.
Oh, it's okay. But we'll run it.
Anyways, yeah.
But yeah, man. In other news, man. Let's get away from some of this emoji talk and let's talk about those Raptors.
You trying to make this into they're not. This is not a sports cast, brother.
I leave the scene.
Shout out to the Raptors on that damn win, okay?
I leave the scene for 2 seconds, and this guy's
shout
like,
out my guy Delano.
I leave the scene for 2 seconds, and this guy's
Precious.
like, yo, you want to run a sports podcast? Never says anything in the chat again.
Come on.
That's it.
So when you guys are driving, let's say you have a 10 or 20 minute drive.
Yes.
Right.
Do you guys think about it in the time in minutes, or do you think about it in the time in number of songs you're going to listen to?
That's a great question.
10-minute drive, that's 3 songs. Nice.
Okay. But you know what I've noticed about myself though? I'm more of a podcast guy now in the car.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how are you
I don't like listening to music.
So you're not doing any drives under 30 minutes. You got to get that whole podcast in.
No. I'm still, regardless. I'm just going to continue my podcast from wherever I stopped.
You don't listen to music anymore?
No, I don't like listening to music in the car.
That's crazy. Bro, I blast. I
love playing obnoxious music.
You know the thing with music is it's like
haram.
No. 1, 2, it's like it's only meant for like a certain situation, like in the gym.
No,
just to get
sure.
yourself
What about the shower?
amped
What about the
up.
shower?
I don't listen to music in the shower. Bro.
That's crazy, bro.
Bro, what are you talking about? I'm busy in the shower trying to make a cup of water in here and just dropping it like that. Every time.
Is that another
collect the water? Drop it.
That's why you're always late.
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's playing with the water like a little 5-year-old.
Yeah,
Bro,
You guys remember when you're like 7 years
old?
old and all of a sudden you do this and you let the water run off your pinky, right? You let the water run off your pinky and you're like, yo, like you're Spider-Man. Bro, everybody's done that.
We really all
you gotta get on the airbender at that point, bro.
We really all had the same lives.
I remember it, like,
stupid, bro. Nobody taught us this stuff. We all just do it.
But hold on.
The other day, the worst thing happened to me. So I forgot to position the shower head. You know, when I was turning on the shower, right?
Okay.
So I was standing, I turned it on, it hit me right in the face. It was so bad, bro, because when the hot water hits you in the face like that, the worst. Yo, what happened?
You just keep talking.
Oh, man down.
Yeah, bro. Anyways,
moral of the story is always be prepared in the shower, man.
More things that we probably all do.
Yeah.
When you eat your dinners, your foods.
Yeah.
Do you eat them in separate sections one at a time, or do you just all kind of?
No, 100%, bro. The first thing, especially like if I order like a burger meal, I have to finish the fries first.
Exactly.
I cannot go to the burger.
Leave the best for last. Because when you
not necessarily, I actually like the fries more.
Really?
Yeah.
So why do you even get the burger? Why not just you can get
like the fries more,
burger,
bro. You're eating at Popeyes, Cajun fries.
Bro, we were gonna put someone else. We were gonna put someone else on Certified Weenie of the Week. Let's call it.
Put me up
there.
There.
You're the Certified Weenie of the Week.
Put me up there.
Like
if that's what it takes.
What are your favorite fries? Go to.
Definitely the Cajun fries from Popeyes for sure.
All right.
Fire.
All right.
And you get the sweet chili dip with that.
Hold on, we're not putting up. We can't put Popeyes on anymore. We're about to run some sponsors soon.
Yeah,
but
right.
you know what I did? I remember going to Mandarin 2 weeks in a row. We're talking about Mandarin.
Damn, you have a thing for Mandarin.
I used to have a plate that was specifically dedicated towards Caesar salad. Mandarin used to have the best croutons on the planet. I'm a crouton guy, right? And I love Caesar salad, and I would always finish the salad, and I'd be left over with basically like a whole plate full of croutons.
You don't eat the croutons?
No, I would eat them all. I save them for last.
You save them for last,
Okay.
I used to love. I still to this day when I'm eating Caesar salad, I save the croutons for last.
That's weird, bro.
I love the croutons though.
No, that's very weird. But why? First of all, why is your salad on a separate plate? Why don't you just put it on the plate with your meal?
When I go to Mandarin, I used to have like a dedicated like Caesar salad plate because I would eat a lot of it. I liked it. And then they had the little spoons for cheese and bacon bits. Was it with
the bacon bits?
Yeah, of course.
Goof. Haram.
Okay, yeah, you're cupping the water in the shower. Relax. Bro, did you actually just say that you had the shower head and it burned you and that was your crazy story?
Yeah, that was so weird.
I was like, finished, bro. You just jumped out your seat, bro.
No, I'm trying to go back. I'm trying to go back there because I'm trying to fix this camera.
No, there's no going back, fam. We moved forward, fam.
Yeah, but you're basically saying you would basically burn yourself.
I burned myself by accident.
I did the craziest thing. The shower head was pointed at my face.
By accident.
Where is it supposed to be pointed?
Bro, it's supposed to be it's supposed to be right on your chest, bro.
What?
Right here.
What?
I put it above my head, so it's all coming down.
No, fam. This is how you have to start it off. You start it off on the parts of your body where it's not
coaching us on how to shower. How about I coach you how to speak into the microphone?
Okay. All right. Okay. My bad. Okay. But I got to get myself adjusted, to the temperature. That's what I do, man.
Adjusted to the temperature.
Yeah, man.
So, okay.
That's what the dial's for, brother.
Listen, we're going to post this to TikTok and somebody's going to be like, cap. And then they're going to move on. It's going to get like 5 likes. That doesn't even make sense, but somebody's going to call it cap.
Pixel, you're lying.
Broski.
Pixel, you're lying.
Okay, so another thing, Mike, you had mentioned. This was some interesting stuff. I talked to myself in my head and out loud all day. So is it weird to talk to yourself out loud?
Yeah, it's very weird, bro.
I think it's weird that people are trying to make that weird.
I think it's weird that you're trying to make it weird
thing.
for sure.
Yeah, I think that's an everyone thing.
It's like
you talk to yourself a lot.
Reciting your mantras, like it's a very important thing.
Yeah. Reciting your what?
Mantras, like for visualization, like it's actually proven that if you like recite things out loud, it actually changes your brain chemistry.
Yeah.
Like it'll make you happy. If you
okay.
say, I'm happy, my problems aren't that bad today,
right.
I'm proud of myself for what I've done. You could literally do that in your car and people will be like, oh, you're a weirdo. It's just like, well, then you're not supporting like mental health because that's actually stuff that works.
That's the thing that we do for Muslims, when we pray, after the prayer, you're supposed to sit down and praise God, right? And you got to say that out loud. So, okay, I get that. Okay, makes sense. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Respect it. All right, what else we got?
This guy says all doors and closets in the room got to be completely shut when I'm sleeping.
Not true.
Not true, but on Friday the 13th, maybe.
Jeez, throwback.
Yeah,
man.
I don't know. I'd prefer my bedroom door to be closed before I go to bed.
So, sometimes I try to see if I can complete multiple tasks before the microwave is done.
LMAO. LMAO.
Not me.
Don't forget that one.
Not me.
Yeah, Khalid, we already talked about you're ignorant.
Yeah, I know.
Straight up ignorant with the microwave.
100%.
Car radio volume. It's Mike. You take this.
Yes, this is 100. My car radio volume has to be at an even number or a multiple of 5.
That's a fact.
If I get into your car and you put the car radio on 37, 33,
or
volume
13,
13, whatever, you're a psycho.
Yeah, there's something wrong with you.
Multiples of 5 are an even number. That's just the way it is.
Just round it up.
It's one of those unwritten rules.
Exactly.
It's like OCD.
It's one of those things too that it's the same way with the TV. Like I used to be like that until you realize like there's a perfect volume.
Right.
Like sometimes there's just a perfect volume for things. I find it's so weird that all shows and songs and like TVs and movies, they all have different volumes.
Yeah.
Some shows you need it like 30 out of 100. Some you need it like 20. Some you need it like 10. Like late at night if you're watching them.
Exactly.
And some it's like you crank it to like all the way and you're like, it's still not loud
with their
enough.
volume? Yeah, 100%.
Interesting, eh?
Yeah. What else we got in here? Number 8. That was number 8. Okay. If I have nothing to distract myself, my mind starts running. I start to overthink everything from my future to my past, even the littlest blate. So I always have to find something to distract myself. My mind can get real annoying and dark.
Whoa.
Damn.
Ooh.
I can't agree with that one.
I can't agree with that one.
But I feel for it.
That's kind of dark.
I can sing a whole song in my head without really knowing the lyrics, but can't recite it out loud. I agree to that. My goodness. Yeah.
That's a fact.
That's so weird though, right? It's like you got it.
So there's
the pre-games, the karaoke pre-games, you're like, yeah, I got this down pat. Pull up to the mic.
Yeah, it's true.
Bro.
Do you know why this happens?
Yeah.
Again, can't remember the psychologist who talked about it, but there's a well-known theory with the way the human brain works.
Okay.
We interpret reality by generalizing information, deleting it, and distorting it, which is interesting. So you think about it like, it's the same principle. Like, you ever remember, like, you're thinking about maybe like a soccer field?
Yeah.
And it's just like, when you go there, it's like, wait, this is smaller than I...
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just like your brain is distorting that information.
Right. Okay. Right.
So it falls under the same principle. Like sometimes too, you're thinking is and like I always reference it too. There's a river at this one cottage that we go to, and when I think about it in my head, like the river seems much smaller. But then when you get there, it's like, oh, this is pretty deep. And this is pretty long, right?
Oh, yeah.
But anyways, like your brain is just distorting that information to make it easier because you can't. It's really like 26 feet is not. It's kind of like an abstract thing. Yeah. It's just like it's far. Like the brain doesn't really interpret that. So it's the same way when you're like memorizing lyrics and things.
Right.
You're deleting, distorting, and basically your brain is forgetting that there's other parts of the song. Right. And you don't you know what you know, but you don't remember what you don't remember. Exactly. If that makes sense.
Yeah. But so you thought you had it down pat.
Exactly.
You just start humming.
Exactly.
In between. Yeah.
Every 5 words.
The worst though is when moms do it. I find it way more annoying when moms do this.
Why is that, bro?
Because they'll sing the chorus and then they even get that wrong.
I find the cue, bro.
and then
Mom, you got it wrong.
And it's just like, you know the Celine Dion song, like that don't impress me.
That don't impress me.
Yeah. But it's just like there's literally not much to learn there. And they'll be like, that doesn't impress me now. I'm like, the song is called That Don't Impress Me Much. You really messed that up?
Yo, right? Change the whole meaning of the song right there.
Exactly.
Oh, man.
You remember the song goes, shiny like a melody.
And I can't bleed on saying nah every day. It's like my song now, another replay.
Bro, what's that song? I heard this one song. I can't remember who it was. If it's like Akon or something. It's like, I'm trying to find the words to describe this world without being disrespectful. Yeah. And then it's like, a pause for someone, and immediately comes with disrespectful. Damn, use a sexy bitch. Use a sexy bitch. It's like, all right, so my man didn't find the words to not be disrespectful.
Oh my God.
I feel like people from back like in the early 1900s are like, man, the future's so bright. Our kids are the future, this and that. And then if you showed them clips from 100 years later, damn, use a sexy bitch. Yeah.
That's actually hilarious, man.
Music is so degrading right now, man.
It is very degrading. But you know what, guys? You don't listen to it, but like I know we're talking about in the car. Oh, I'm a good sucker for some tech death metal. There's some really good stuff coming out this year.
Okay, but
okay.
What kind of mood does that get you in?
It gets me like everything gets me jacked.
Is
up.
it like a pre-gym type thing?
That's pre-everything.
It gets the same mood that for some is like trap music and hip-hop.
I can study to it though.
Like, you can study to music.
Yeah, I used to study to this stuff.
Bro, how do you? No,
it just becomes noise, like background noise, right?
But I feel like that's only if you know the song already. You can't introduce a new playlist.
Well, it's like anything. Like it's a stimulant. Like proven psychology as well here is that if you're writing like an exam and you're chewing gum and you studied and you didn't chew gum,
that's going to throw you off.
It's going to throw you off.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So like, look, if you're using like a certain pen, don't switch and write your exam with a pencil. It's just like these things are little like, they're disconnects.
So when people really say I have like a whole, go-to thing before like a ritual before a game or something like that, it's like, that's real. It's real. That's crazy.
Especially for recall, right? If your brain is trying to like, because you're linking a neural path, you're associating an item.
Right.
It's the same thing like with, oh my gosh, when you're somebody like falls asleep and hypnotizing.
Yeah, when you're
you associate an object to have some sort of a meaning, right?
Right.
And that's just like
that
low
thing,
level hypnotism.
That little thing. What is it called that they swing in front of your eye?
A pendulum.
That pendulum.
Or lock it or something.
Yeah.
So if we hypnotize you, is that haram?
Bro, I think so. I don't know, man. You guys hey, you can't put me on the spot like this, man. I'm not some scholar, bro.
Oh, come on, bro. This is the whole life. This is religion.
It might be. I got to find out, man. I got to do a better job of learning about my religion.
True. Okay, so talking about being hypnotized, this is a very, very minute level of marketing that we just want to touch upon very quickly.
Okay.
You guys never notice that when you go to the grocery store, sometimes you pick up bananas and there's a sticker on them? Sometimes, and it's actually pretty common, Disney does a lot of advertising on bananas with Dole and Del Monte, the two biggest banana and pineapple providers in the world. So they do a lot of marketing. So basically, if there's a new movie, they promote it. So I pulled up an article actually that I thought was super cool. Do you remember when the Star Wars?
Oh yeah,
it was on apples.
It was on everything.
It was on their lettuce.
They advertised the hell out. Yeah, the lettuce too. Yeah,
it was on
you're
cauliflower.
Right.
Never come across this.
Dude, I don't eat cauliflower.
But yeah, like you basically look at bananas, like the licensing that they had.
I've never seen stickers like this.
Do me a favor, go to the grocery store.
Just by itself like that. Yeah.
No, you have. Trust me, if you go to the grocery store this weekend, you will find bananas with some sort of sticker on them advertising something. It's really cool. So recently, actually, they did their newest campaign that Disney worked on was they did a throwback campaign, Disney Pixar, to their original classic movies. So there were characters actually from Bug's Life.
Really?
In the States right now, there's characters from Bug's Life. That's a 20-year-old movie. But they're doing like a throwback, which I think is super cool.
Okay, so what are they doing this for? To encourage kids to eat fruits and vegetables?
I think it's just subtle marketing. It's like, where can we stuff the money? Let's put it on the bananas.
No, I think it's probably they're trying to get these kids to eat healthy. Probably
nobody dislikes bananas. Even people who eat unhealthy bananas.
I'll tell you one thing: Somalis love bananas.
I know that.
Yeah,
but you don't like watermelon.
We eat bananas with pasta and rice.
But why are you bringing up a community?
It's a tradition, man.
Why are you bringing up a community that eats bananas when I said I don't think anybody dislikes bananas?
No, I'm saying everybody loves bananas.
But you said you'd be surprised.
I don't
be surprised. Some of them, of course. Yeah.
I find bananas for me are one of the I have the worst relationship with out of all the fruits.
Yeah,
because I never find I'm eating the banana at the right time. I've waited too long, or I'm eating it too early.
Oh, it's always coming across as sus.
No, not like that.
Can you not eat it in front of your coworkers?
You guys literally just went there.
Is it?
You're talking about how I feel when I'm eating a banana?
Do you cut up your bananas? Is that the issue?
No, I don't. I will eat a banana in 2 bites.
It's okay, bro. No, it's okay. You can eat your banana. Don't let your coworkers do that.
I will eat a banana in 2 bites. What I'm talking about is the time that the banana is ripe versus not ripe. Not who I'm in front of.
It goes quick. They go quick.
Yeah,
so
and you gotta eat them
quick. Yeah,
I miss the window.
There's a lot of fruit that are like that, bro.
And like the problem is the consistency from one banana to the next. I never find that I have like the best bananas in the world back to back.
How many bites can you eat a banana in?
I don't test myself. Do you test yourself?
No, I'm
in
just
the Somali community.
No, I'm just asking you, bro.
That question's out of pocket, my guy.
Out of pocket, dude. See you later, TikTok Live.
Dollarama.
We want to talk about Dollarama?
Dollarama. Do you remember when the store name actually made sense?
Yeah.
You could go in there and get an item for $1.
Yeah.
Nope, not anymore.
It's capped now.
Yeah,
no, sir.
Everything's minimum $5.
So interestingly enough, this kind of sheds light on it. I actually remember one of our final exams was doing it was a financial study on basically their shareholders report. All their statements on when they went public. It was in 2009. It was talking about how they, after their IPO, they basically found ways to generate new profits. So shortly after they went public in 2009, they started upping the price point for $1.25. Previously to that, it was only $1. Everything was $1, right? Now what we're seeing is you can get items for $4.50. You could walk out of Dollarama with 3 items and pay $15 plus tax. You're paying $19,
Listen,
$18.
You know what they need to do? They need to start doing some rebranding.
Why?
That's what they got to do. Because, bro, it's capped. Ratioed. Yeah, they're ratioed.
Dollarama ratio.
But even look at this photo. It just says $1 plus.
Well, that's okay. But that's the exact same as when we were talking previously. Fruit Loops was sued with their original name because they don't actually there's no fruit actually involved in the Fruit Loops cereal. Oh. We talked about this in the previous podcast. So if they're getting sued for that, why can't Dollarama be sued for putting up this logo of $1? So
what are they suing them for? What exactly? Like false advertising?
False advertising. Yeah.
Wow.
They got sued by
I wish I got on that. Damn it, they beat me to it.
Well, you were too young when it happened, I'm pretty sure, bro.
Man.
Yeah.
Damn.
But yeah, man, it's I mean, I haven't. Have you guys been to a Dollarama anytime recently, bro? I haven't been in years.
It's been a while.
But yeah, the last time I can only recall. I can only imagine.
Going there just to get like paper plates, paper cups, whatever.
Yeah.
Like
and
little small
you can get those in Walmart anyways.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't need to be going to Dollarama,
you're not getting it for $1 anymore.
Yeah,
so
not anymore, dude. Yeah. Sorry, everybody on Twitch. Yeah, we put a new cable and it's just yanking it from the camera, so it keeps going dark. So we just have to keep adjusting it. So that's our bad. We'll fix that one for the next one. But
it's all good.
That's that actually kind of wraps everything up, unless there's other things that you guys wanted to talk about, because we're actually over an hour right now.
Are we?
Probably not. I think we covered a lot.
I think this covered Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
I don't want to press our luck.
It was a spooky one.
Finish it off with this one, Khaled.
Yeah, actually, sorry, Khaled, before you go on, starting today on this podcast, we're going to start doing at the end of every podcast, we're going to have a segment for a certified weenie
100%
of the week. So Khaled found this one this week.
Yeah, this one is certified stamped by the boys. Okay, so a woman at McDonald's, she was fasting for Lent. So if you don't know, Lent is basically a Christian tradition where they observe 40 days of fasting before Easter, right? So this lady right here from Russia actually was on a stroll when she saw the golden arches and and she was fasting. So she says that never in her life before this did she ever break her fast until that day when she saw that juicy cheeseburger and decided, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and purchase this, right? And as a Christian, during Lent, you stay away from red meats.
True.
Right? Mm-hmm. So she could have just went and got a fish fillet, but that's a different conversation for another time. But so she went ahead and got herself a cheeseburger and broke her fast. So now she decided that she has to sue McDonald's for
$14.
$14, bro.
That's
in moral damages.
That's so absurd.
For $14, bro.
So the idea
that's not even enough money to get your gas to and from the courthouse.
No, it's not. It's not even enough money to send print all the documents required.
I think in reality she probably saw the juicy looking burger or whatever on the more false advertising. It didn't look like that at all when she bought it, and she was cheesed as hell. So she's like, "Yo, I'm suing these guys."
I've been bamboozled, led astray.
Led astray.
But is it an exercise by a law student who's looking to make a name for themselves?
No,
it cannot be real.
It is real, man. It is real.
Finally, we had a whole podcast where he didn't call cap on anything.
You almost did it.
It took until the
but
very end.
But it's okay. You guys are keeping all right. It's all right.
You had the whole podcast without calling cap on anything.
You almost did it, but it's not cap, man. She wants.
You guys really are keeping tabs on me like that.
Yeah. So the poor lady.
It's nonsense.
She wants her $14, man. You guys better cough it up. The government of Russia. I don't know how the law doesn't work in Russia, but in North America, that would probably be thrown out.
So first of all, if it's $14, what did she buy? It's not just a Big Mac. She bought a combo?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, cheeseburgers and chicken nuggets.
But it's just moral damages, apparently.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to get the extra few bucks for the time she wasted and the gas.
Of course.
Cover. Come on.
Yeah, how deep are we going in on this? That's what I want to know, man.
She's giving off major broke vibes, in my opinion.
100%, man. Because in the U.S., man, it's like that kind of thing won't fly. What's the whole point of... Shout out to the McDonald's marketing team for getting her to purchase that, because they're doing a great job. Pat yourselves on the back. Like, come on, man. That's crazy.
I don't know. I'm not going to say anymore because you guys are going to call me capper. So
Go ahead.
I'll lay low for episode 7.
We didn't call you a capper.
We didn't call you a capper. We're just saying what's going to happen.
What's going to happen is I'm going to tell you guys the facts.
Go ahead, drop
$14,
it.
somebody wanted some information. Like it's the same thing as the guy who says birds are not real. That guy is doing it for marketing so he can sell T-shirts and Patreon subscriptions.
But how would she benefit from this?
How would she benefit? Her name is now in the... Okay, let's look.
Bro, you can't even pronounce her name.
Because I don't need to. I don't speak Russian. Okay, we're going to see who she is, right? So she's an artist. Unless there's multiple people.
I think there might be multiple people, bro. There's 9 profiles on LinkedIn.
Okay, but we're going to try and figure out what she does. Maybe she's an artist. Maybe this is going to be like leading up to like a supersized movie part 2. I think goes Russia.
I think she was just offended that, like they have those advertisements going on during Lent, It's a religious... a religious moment for them. And
you have to take a conscious decision. Okay, because I'm assuming in Russia, like I'm seeing a photo right here, there's a self-serve kiosk.
Yeah.
At any point in time, the onus was on her.
Right.
She made a decision to smell, which is totally fine because like, okay, that smells good. Maybe I should eat it. Yep. She made a decision to open the door.
Yeah.
Tell me the last time you went to McDonald's and there was not a person ahead of you ordering. She made a decision to wait in line.
Right.
Or if she didn't, she made a decision to tap through a greasy self-serve kiosk machine.
Right.
She made a decision to get out her credit card.
Right.
There's a lot of active steps that she's made here that like actus rea and mens rea show that she has actually committed mentally and physically, kind of the action. She went through with it and like... to prove that she did, like there's a lot of points that she could have turned away. It's not like I shot somebody because I pulled the trigger.
Right.
There was like 14. Imagine it's like somebody has to assemble a gun and then kill you. I didn't mean... No, you assembled the gun.
Right.
Well, yeah,
she's assembled...
No, I think her message in this is like, okay, let's just say a community is... Okay, for example, I'll give you a good one. Let's just say it's during Ramadan, right?
Okay.
We're in a Muslim country, right?
Okay.
Would it be smart to be marketing food, during the times of observing fast?
Who said it was marketed?
It was. She was walking by and she saw
marketed?
it was on a board.
Who said it was marketed?
But that's marketing, no? If she saw it on a billboard. If
you walk past the McDonald's.
And it's on a billboard. You see a big billboard of a cheeseburger and nuggets. She saw that and decided, let me go inside.
Again, so you've made another point.
But not everyone is celebrating Lent. They can market whatever they want at any time of the year.
And you've made another point that she saw a billboard and made an active decision and said, damn, it's been a while since I had this. I know I shouldn't have it. Or if she was walking by it and again, she just saw the McDonald's, she made an active choice. So again, this is my problem.
I'm just being devil's advocate, man. They could have marketed fish fillet. I mean, they can eat that during that time. Maybe the community in that area.
Yeah, but I don't understand why you're blaming McDonald's.
I'm not blaming them.
I thought you were saying the story in general was cap.
No,
of course she's capping. Of course she's capping.
She's a capper. Big capper.
Of course she's a capper. I'm not arguing that. That's obvious.
Yeah.
I thought you meant that this was made up for like a story.
For
a funny story. I was like, no, that's like...
No, but what he was saying is she could be using this to push an agenda of her own.
She is. There's no doubt.
What agenda would she have for that?
She made a statement in court via New York Post.
Fame. Yeah. She's all over the place.
Yeah, the Russian woman.
This is fame. Now, listen, if she's good looking or whatever, she can start pursuing stuff. People have her name, they have her face.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have a face behind it. They haven't promoted her face.
Maybe not, but you have a name, whatever.
So interesting. They have not given her any kind of publication whatsoever.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting. There's got to be a reason why.
Don't want to give her the clout.
Yeah,
clearly. Maybe.
Yeah.
You guys like the little onions at McDonald's? They add the water to it.
Yeah, bro, I actually do.
It's fire, and the cheeseburger's fire.
I hate the fact that I'm saying this, but their little onions kind of slap.
It's different.
But it's disgusting because they're just little flakes, and then somebody takes like a big wooden,
a plastic ladle, the entire idea and look behind a cheeseburger is gross, and yet they slap.
Bro, I feel like it was so much better when we were little kids in the Happy Meals.
Oh yeah,
I don't think they don't hit the same.
They don't hit the same, but they're still good. Yeah,
I don't know, something about their pickles.
Respect yourself, bro. They're still good. Yeah. So
I think that wraps it up.
Yeah,
I think it does wrap it up.
17, man.
I think it does wrap it up.
Hit us with an outro, Colin.
Okay, guys. Thank you. Episode 17. Thank you again for tapping in with the boys, the OG3. We're back at it again. For everybody that tuned in on the live, we appreciate you. You didn't have to take time out of your day, but you did just to be with us. Enjoy this hour and some change that we had.
Damn, someone said love from the Philippines.
Yeah, showing love from the Philippines. Shout out to you. But yes, we'll be back next week as usual. 8 to 8:30, we pulling up, somewhere in between that time.
100%. And we're actually going to have proper animation so you guys know when we're going live. And so sorry for the blackouts on this one.
100%.
We got a new setup. We got dogs or cats eating our cables. We got a bunch of stuff going on. So
okay,
my apologies for that.
It's all part of the come up, little setbacks for a major comeback. You get me? A comeback. Episode 18. Tune in, boys.
That's it. And
girls.
That's it.
And everything in between.
And really fast too, guys. Normally we do an after stream kind of celebration or hangout and we play some video games, but we may have to skip that one today. Our AC is not working. We're gonna get that fixed.
Brother, I'm dripping right now.
Yeah, I know. It's warm. It's warm.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I'm nice. I'm nice right now. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm sweating. Yeah. But yeah, that's it. So thanks so much, guys.
All right. Take care, guys. Deuces.
Love y'all.